All right, ladies, so there's coke at the White House. They actually found cocaine at the Biden White House, and somehow it managed not to be the biggest story everywhere in all the mainstream media, though I suspect it would have been different had it been the Trump White House, or in fairness, even the Obama White House that would have had tongues wagging. But I guess because Joe Biden is 200, we've just decided it's definitely not his. And the son's a drug addict, so whatever, we don't care. I mean, there's coke at the White House. And they found it in the West Wing, in one of the working areas of the West Wing. They originally said the library, and that was convenient because they could have said, oh, it was a member of the public. But then they had to admit, no, it was actually found in the West Wing, in the working area of the West Wing. I don't know. We all suspect Hunter, let's be honest. He was there 2 days earlier. He was there 2 days later. Does anybody really believe he's totally clean and sober and, hasn't had any falls off the wagon? I don't know. But we've gotten precious few details, Amala, out of the White House or the press on this. Ari Fleischer was asking good questions. He was, of course, a former press secretary under President Bush. And he was saying, where? Where in the West Wing? We're entitled to know. Was it in the Situation Room? Was it in the Oval Office? Like, whose office was it in? We can get more specific, and we deserve to have those specifics on this.
Yeah, I would agree with you there and agree with him there. I think they're going to be working, a PR angle on this one, trying to figure out what's the best possible position that they could place this cocaine in, which just blows my mind that we're even talking about this right now. But the way that I'm thinking about it is, in order to get into the White House, don't you have to go through very extensive security checks? Aren't they, checking people's pockets? I've heard on the news that it's hard to even get your own personal wallet into the White House, let alone cocaine, and who even knows how much. So I'm thinking this would have to be a person who maybe they wouldn't check on, or has a certain amount of privilege where they can get through without those checks being made. Hunter Biden, wink, wink. But it's just wild to me that they're not coming out with very direct answers on this. And it just leads me to believe that they need to sort of clean up the edges on this one a little bit, decide who they can implicate in this, or if they can get away with, falsifying some story where nobody's implicated, because this is a bad look for this administration, especially with all of the other things that are going on with Biden and Hunter Biden.
Well, especially, right, exactly, because we just saw him get a slap on the wrist, Evita, for his tax evasion, for his falsified gun application, saying he wasn't an addict when we knew that he was. These drug crimes that his fathers tried to punish everybody else for, but I guess when it comes to Hunter, he gets a pass. Now, this is not to say that this is Hunter's cocaine. That was a joke. We have no idea whose it is. But somebody in the White House had cocaine. And so it would be great to see him show the same sort of zealous attitude toward the law enforcement, toward his own staff, or who knows, whoever's in that White House, as he's shown toward private citizens.
Right. And alarm bells are totally going off in my mind, and should be everybody else's, that they're not telling us exactly where this cocaine was found. This has been a wild ride for the White House. I mean, but first of all, cocaine found. And then a few weeks ago, you had a naked transgenders at an official White House lawn event. And then you have this Hunter Biden investigation and these IRS whistleblowers implicating the whole family in collusion with the DOJ and is their tax crimes and getting money from the Ukrainians and the Chinese businessmen. I mean, this is just a wild week for the White House, and continuing on for months now. So I think that this is really purposeful, that they're not telling us what's going on. This is always what they do. This is what they did with the IRS investigation. The IRS whistleblowers. Right after they came out with their testimonies, you had a bunch of media stories. You had the Russian potential coup that ended up not being a coup. And then you had this submarine explosion that they didn't tell us actually exploded until way later. This is what the media does all the time to cover up for their political allies, and particularly this Biden administration. And it's really disgusting. And I think all of us should be asking, where was this cocaine found? Who had it? And continue asking these questions, because if we don't hold the White House and the media accountable, they will continue to lie to us and stonewall us until we hopefully all forget it.
Well, let's be realistic. There are cameras covering every inch of the White House. I mean, there's no way that there's any public area that is accessible by staff, never mind visitors, that they don't have on camera. So this should not be too hard to solve. And we deserve an answer. We deserve to know, who was it? Was it some high-level policy person who's on drugs inside the White House? Was it a member of the first family? Was it some low-level staffer? And how on earth did they get coke into the people's house? I want answers to all these things. This, I should point out, just hit from CBS, saying reports that the illicit drug was allegedly found in a common area storage facility cubby where White House staff and guests regularly store their cell phones. Additionally, a source familiar with the ongoing investigation, so that single source, unnamed, said that the substance was found in a small dime-sized bag. That's according to NBC News. Now listen, you really want us to believe that some guest who was forced to store his phone in a cubby took out his dime bag of coke and shoved it in there right next to his phone? Like, oh, I got to take everything out of my pockets and store. Bullshit. That's not true. That's not how this happened. Like many people, I am eating healthier these days, or at least trying to. And that's why I love good olive oil. And by good, I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthiest nutrients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for many months growing stale. That's why I like my olive oil direct from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a guy named TJ Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I first tasted TJ's farm fresh oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his fresh pressed olive oil club, TJ's willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils for just $1 to help him cover shipping. Best of all, there's never a commitment to buy anything, and you can cancel your membership at any time. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 shipping and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to harvestfreshnow.com. That's harvestfreshnow.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 in shipping. harvestfreshnow.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.